We're back in the lab again, boys. Right now, I'm going to give you everything you need to unfuck your brain in the next 24 hours. To start looking at life the right way. To start having things go your way. To start making progress towards the life that you want instead of feeling stuck all the time. You have to listen to me and you have to take action. That's the problem. Most people stay stuck in their lives for only one reason, and the reason is you don't actually want to change. You don't want to change things. You say you do, you kind of wish you did. When it comes to doing the things that change your life, instead you revert back to comfort, you revert back to what you know. We have to make war against that. We have to wage war on weakness in our own minds if we're going to break out. Once you start the momentum of breaking out, you get addicted to it and it actually becomes easier than staying stuck. Nobody tells you that. That's very important. Nobody tells you that. Everybody says to you, oh, it's so hard, right? It's so hard to break out. It's so hard. You've got to work really fucking hard to make this new life. Yes, in a way you do. But what they don't tell you, what they're lying to you about is, after you've done it a couple of times, when you're in the rhythm, when you're in the routine becomes effortless. I'm going to sneeze. Hey! Yeah! Bloody hell, I nearly took off. Once you're in the routine, it becomes effortless, and nobody really says that. So you maybe get disheartened when you're trying to change or unfuck your life. You get disheartened because you think, this is so difficult right now. I couldn't possibly do this forever. Don't worry, they're lying to you. It gets easier after a while. You fall into this routine. You get addicted to success. You get addicted to progress in your life instead of being addicted to a load of shit. So today we reverse that. Right now, first rule that I need you to understand is that the only reason you're not where you want to be is because you are not around the right people, you don't have the right information, or you haven't taken the right actions. That's what you need to understand. They're the only things that are holding you back in your life right now. It's nothing to do with your circumstances. Any circumstance you currently have, you can change, and this requires taking 100% accountability for your life and for your actions. If you're fat, depressed, lonely, single, poor, rich, all of it is of your own doing. And if you get this feeling of like, well, that's unfair, because all these things happened in my life, that wasn't my fault. But Jack, you don't understand. I was born with a disadvantage. My mother, she fiddled me as a child. Doesn't matter. That's the thing about accountability. It's just a blanket statement. It applies to everybody everywhere. If you want to be a true man, if you want to unfuck your mind, one of the biggest things I can give you right now that will serve you for the rest of your life is you take accountability for absolutely everything. You take accountability for the choices of the people that you spend time with. You have to be accountable for anything in your life, not for the reason of you should take on all the blame or it's chivalrous to take on all the blame for life. No, it's nothing to do with that. You can only change what you control. If you want to unfuck your mind right now, in the next 24 hours, you have to take control of all areas of your life. You might go, well, I couldn't go to the gym because I couldn't afford it. No, you can afford it. You can find a way. Others have. The reason you're fat is because you put too much food in your mouth without moving. That is solely your fault, no matter how you were raised. Now, as soon as you accept that, this big weight gets lifted off your shoulders because you now realize once you are in control of all these things, you can change them. Begin to change the actions in your life that are fucking your mind up. Now, let's go to pillar number one. If we're going to change your life, we're going to unfuck your mind, we need to change your inputs. You're already doing a good job because you're listening to videos like this. This is essentially what I'm doing on a daily basis. I'm just doing it with my friends, my network, the people I'm around. The stuff that's going into my mind is high-level information. It's focused around improving my life. Now, the problem is the entire world wants you to be watching short-form content. Violent content, sexual content, stuff that makes you literally mentally retarded, where you can't focus in any form or capacity. The majority of people spend their entire evenings, all their life force, 4 hours a night, scrolling through bullshit. Scrolling away on their phones. Oh my God, this is so funny. Look at this meme. Oh, I like this music and this trend. Let me do this. The majority of the world is retarded. If you want to unfuck your mind, you have to change the inputs. You have to do the opposite of what everybody else is doing. You can do such an unbelievable amount for your life in 4 hours. In 4 hours, you can work out extremely hard. That'll take an hour and a half. You could read an hour of a book and attain knowledge from billionaires that have walked towards you, equivalent to you sitting in a room with a billionaire. You could have read an hour of a billionaire's book or memoir and had an hour conversation with a billionaire. I'm reading Disney's, not Walt Disney, the Disney CEO, Bob Iger, his book at the moment. It's very good. Just type in Bob Iger, Disney CEO book. You can read that one. I'll recommend you a couple others. But we have to change the inputs. One of the reasons I leveled up quickly in my life, I knew that there was more out there, was because of how much I've read. I've always read an absurd amount of books. I'm fascinated by books. And what this does, not only does it teach you stuff, not only does it teach you things that others that have literally become millionaires, billionaires, changed their lives, they've written it down in books and you can learn from them, which is part of the solution. That's part of the puzzle you have to solve, is knowing it's possible, seeing the path. But at the same time, increase your attention span. If you can read it for an hour, not many people can do that. That then means you can focus for an hour on building something. Those two things change your life. So instead of scrolling, you can actually read on your phone, on the Books app, Apple Books, or Kindle, or Audible, listen to a book. But every time you go to scroll, unless you are scrolling to find viral content to then repeat it, to produce content on your own brand, I want you to go on your phone, take out the Books app and start reading some literature. Start reading a book. Change the inputs to your mind. If you do this for a month instead of scrolling, you will be a different person. You will start to use different words, talk in a different way, see the world differently. It's all inputs that make who you are. You are what you eat. You are what you consume mentally. So getting the books on the phone, very good idea. Or obviously you can just throw the phone aside and you can get a hard copy of a book. But here's a few I think you should read. We've got the Disney CEO one, that's great. The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. This is a fantastic book if you are stuck with creation. Every time we try and create something or change an element of our lives, it requires some form of creativity. Creativity is the hardest thing to do because the mind knows that as soon as we are creative in our lives, as soon as we try to do an endeavor that will fix us in some way and make our lives better, the mind has a very big problem with that. It likes comfort, it likes the same. It sees you trying to do something that will change your life and you will encounter something called resistance. The War of Art, not the Art of War, though that's good as well. The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield is a fantastic book to overcome that feeling of procrastination, resistance that we encounter when we try and change our lives. The next one is Can't Hurt Me, David Goggins, just to fire that fucking savagery into you, to show you that anything really is possible. Another one of my favorites, I'll give you two more. They're not self-improvement slop. They're real books. Live and Let Die, the James Bond book. Read that. I think all of the James Bond novels are worth reading by Ian Fleming because they are, I think it's just our ultimate sort of pillar of what a man should be. Aside from the light drug and alcohol addiction, I think James Bond really is the epitome of what a man should be, the way he thinks, the way he dresses, the way he is with women. A lot of that is really heavily understood in the books, and you start to take a bit more of that on. Live and Let Die is fantastic. James Bond book to start on, or Casino Royale is a fantastic one to start on. Or Moonraker I actually really enjoyed as well. So all very good books. Another one is Endurance, Shackleton's Greatest Voyage, about Ernest Shackleton, an explorer. If you want a book on leadership, understanding the human will, that is the book for you. It's absolutely fantastic. This is what you should be understanding and reading, and that is the tip of the iceberg of literature. That is the tip of the iceberg of what you can learn. You can learn to be a billionaire from billionaires in 1 hour a day, reading books, the right books. But instead we scroll our lives away watching people fucking dance on TikTok. But that's the difference. You want to unfuck your mind, change the inputs. Pillar number 2, your people are killing you. Misery doesn't just love company, it recruits it. The people around you are either fuel or poison. There is no neutral. They're either pushing you forwards or dragging you down. Most men are surrounded by people who quit and call it wisdom. You absorb the energy of your environment whether you like it or not. If there's one thing to look out for, which I think most people have encountered in their lives, is you are putting the wrong people on a pedestal. You don't have access to truly great minds, so the greatest mind you are around, you take their advice as gospel. For most people, that is their parents. Of course, you rank your own family and your parents very high up on the scale of intelligence and the scale of what you should do in your life. The problem is, if your father, if your mother, if the person that you admire, your grandfather, your uncle, your friend, if they don't live the life that you want, you shouldn't take their advice, no matter how high status they are in your world. You have to find somebody. When you follow advice, you find somebody who lives the way you want to live. That's the advice that you take. The advice from the person that lives the way you want to live. If you want to understand how I built my life and the way that I live, you can check out my live event. It's coming up. You can join for free. We're doing a $5,000 cash giveaway. We're going to teach you how to completely change your life over a 90-minute free presentation on the 13th of June. You can check it out, turn notifications on, join the WhatsApp down below to be entered into the 5K giveaway. Be great to see you there. But you have to be very careful of the people that you admire. If they don't have the life that you want, then the advice is invalid. Most people put the guy making 100K a year, working a corporate job in their town that drives a BMW, goes out to the club every now and again as the guy on the pedestal, the smartest guy in town. Realistically, he's a big fish in an incredibly small puddle. What you want to be doing is finding people that have actually lived these beautiful, beautiful, top-of-the-range lives and admire them and understand what they have done and read their books and get around their podcasts and those sorts of things, because that's really the level you can play at. And the problem with most people's minds is it's so fucking negative. Their mind's so negative, you don't believe that you could actually do anything. You don't believe that it's for you. You don't believe that you could be the one that's a millionaire. Every single person, millionaire, billionaire, movie star, celebrity, all of them, everybody who's done something amazing, they're normal people. The more of them you meet, the more normal you realize they are. They're not better than you. They just learned something you didn't or took more action. That's what you need to do as well. Your action for this is to identify whose advice. Actually look inside yourself and identify your belief system. Identify who in your life have you been listening to for advice. What do you believe? Do you believe in your mind right now it's impossible to make over $100,000 a year, that is difficult? Is that something that you believe? Because that has to be trained out of you if you want to overcome that. You will never be something that you don't believe. Right now, I'm of the belief that making $10 million a year is easier than making one. Because for me, making $1 million a year was easier than making 100. That doesn't make sense to a lot of people right now, but it will. And that's the truth. You don't have to work too hard. You need leverage, you need to find it. Pillar number 3, your body is soft because you made it soft. Right now, you probably think you need a fucking rest day. You don't want to train too hard. You don't want to pull a muscle. You've got to get your rest days in for your strength. I don't understand it personally. I'm addicted to the gym. I'm addicted to that feeling of pushing, to that feeling of becoming a complete savage. I like to be in a state of war. I like to be in a state of battle. I don't want it the easy way. I don't understand this mentality. How can I get a six-pack in 4 weeks? What are you fucking talking about? Six-pack in 4 weeks. Of course you want a six-pack, but it's a lifestyle. I don't go to the gym all the time because I want a six-pack, because I want to look a certain way. I'm in the gym all the time because of the way it makes me feel. It's part of my lifestyle. It's an identity that I wear. I have to be that person. I would feel wrong not going. Now, the problem is the world has gone so soft. You can go to the gym tired. I don't drink, but you can go to the gym hungover. I have in the past. You can go after suboptimal days. You can go in the middle of the night. You have to look at yourself, instead of looking at yourself like a little fairy princess cupcake, what needs to be looked after all the time. You need to look at yourself like a man and what a man used to represent. This hard, tough guy that got it done no matter what. And that's what training comes down to. So many people ask me, oh, how do I get the motivation? How do I get the discipline to train? You have no other option. It's either go and train or be weak. And why the hell would you want to be weak? So go and train. It's a pretty simple decision to make. The problem is the world's made you feel okay with being soft because you fit in with everybody else. If you can build a top 1% physique, if you can have rippling abs and huge arms, and you can look incredible, it will completely change your life and the way people respect you. Now, in regards to actually training, when you feel like you're done in any sport, in any physical endeavor, you're about 40% done. You've got 60% left in the tank. Anytime you feel like you've overtrained, you've trained too hard, you're aching a little from the day before, oh, I need a day off. Shouldn't take it too hard today. Anytime you feel like that, remember that in the military, they train them like dogs every day, 8 hours a day. for weeks and weeks and weeks. And they don't sleep, and they don't eat correctly, and they're fucking fine. They get a bit tired, yes, but they don't die. What happens is they become hardened mental soldiers on the other side. That's how you run your own life. Fitness is the training ground for everything. Having that body, that physique, turning up on time, working out hard when you don't want to, doing the extra rep, going the extra mile. That is the backbone of everything else you do in your life. It all begins in the gym. Just so, if you've not seen my videos before, just so you know I'm not capping. Wow, that looks... I'm in fucking shape. Alright? Sometimes with a jacket you can't see. So I just want to make sure, if you haven't seen the channel before, you know I'm not just chatting bullshit to you. This is genuinely how I live. And I'm telling you to live this way because it makes me feel so good. Not because it makes me feel bad. Same as I said at the start. Once you start doing this stuff, you get addicted to it and life becomes easy. And it becomes easy to do all this stuff. You only have to try hard for the first 20 days. After that, you'd rather do this than anything else as you see your life improve. No one really says that. Pillar number 4 is to ban complaining in your circle of friends and to ban complaining with yourself. It is just a form of mental weakness, and every complaint is a vote for staying exactly where you are. It's the most socially acceptable form of self-destruction, and it's something that you don't need. It's something that if you get rid of it, your mind becomes positive. In order to change and unfuck your mind, you need a positive mind. You know, a positive mindset. You need to smile in the face of adversity at all areas of your life. That's what it takes. It takes being able to look fear and doubt and danger and loss in the eye and smile. And that comes from being someone who just doesn't complain. It's the most refreshing thing on earth when you find someone who never complains. It just doesn't seem to be in their vocabulary to understand it. You cannot be fearful in your life whilst you feel the feeling of gratitude, and you cannot complain whilst you feel the feeling of gratitude. So one of the pillars for your life to unfuck your mind should be a base of gratitude, and not just fucking bullshit sitting down and writing down the same 3 things every day. I'm grateful for my mum. I'm grateful for my hair. I'm grateful for my legs. You have to sit down and you have to think. I think in your mind, you think about having it taken away. You genuinely think about losing the things that you currently have, the things that you hate right now, the things that you show no concern for, the things that you don't even care about, that we are all so ungrateful of, which is part of our problem. The things you take for granted, the fact that you think you're so absorbed in your mind and you think, oh my God, I need $1 million, I need $1 million. But you have your legs and a body and your arms and you are well and healthy. And there's people with well over $1 million without those things that would give it all in a heartbeat just to be healthy. They realize the value of their health. Don't let that happen too late. Live a life of gratitude and you'll always be okay. Live a life of gratitude and you'll have a different vibe. You will have a different frequency in the things that you do in your life. That gratitude every day is very important. And the total eradication of complaints. You have nothing to complain about. Absolutely nothing to complain about in your life. And once you realize that and you put a little smile on your face now and you go, I'm going to be fucking all right. I'm going to be okay. I can walk and talk and I'm doing okay. I've got food and a house and so much more than so many other people have. You take a lot of the pressure away and you just do things for the love of the game. So that's pillar 4, stop complaining. And it leads us nicely into pillar 5. You're obsessed with the outcome, and being obsessed with the outcome is exactly what distracts you from ever getting the outcome. It's what increases your cortisol. It's what increases the pressure. It's what increases the stress. All I do now in my life if I want something is I define the actions needed to achieve the thing that I want, and I focus solely on the actions with removing all need for the outcome to ever happen and enjoying the process. The action for this is write down exactly what you're dreaming for right now, what you really need to happen, and release it and focus on the next move only. Pillar number 6, you need to be delusionally self-confident to a level that most people find disgusting, to a level most people find arrogant, as the only thing that's ever going to separate you from the crowd. Everything in your life you have to know, everything in your life, no one will save you, no one will give it to you. You have to cultivate and build it from yourself, which means you have to have ultimate belief. That's the only way to inspire others. And trust me, it is contagious when somebody wholeheartedly looks you in the eye and they tell you their dream and they tell you they are going to achieve it, sometimes it can send fucking shivers down your spine because you know that they're telling the truth, and then you believe them, and then you're bought into the mission. You'll help them get there. That's what great people do. Great people believed it in here and they saw it in here before anything else. And that's what you have to cultivate in your own life. It's a decision that you will believe in yourself. The action to this I would recommend is that you write down and you outline the dream life. This is one of the first things I did to change my life. So I said, I'm not happy right now with what I'm doing. I'm not happy with the life that I'm living. So I sat down, I wrote out, what would I be happy with? I said, if I had all the money in the world, what would I do every day? And I came down to 3 answers. I'd make videos because I love them. I would still go to the gym and I would live somewhere hot. That's my life now. I make videos because I love them. I go to the gym and I'm always somewhere hot where I can sit in the sun, hang out with my buddies. Those were the things I wanted, and I built this distinct vision of my life when I had nothing. I built a distinct vision of my life when I was just quitting my 9 to 5. I'd never posted on social media before. I was weird. I was a loser. I had no idea about the social media world. I had no idea about online business. All I had was a dream and this vision of who I might become. I knew that I was a nerd and a loser, and one day I might not be. And I wholeheartedly believed it. And then I started to speak it into existence. And I started to say to people, I'm a YouTuber, before I'd done any YouTube. I started to say, I'm social media, I'm influencer. That's what I do. That's my job, my business. Yeah, I'm just starting out right now, but it's going to be massive. It's to speak that into existence on a daily basis, and boom, sure enough, 4 years later we are now, 5 years later, my wildest dreams have come true. Now I've got bigger dreams that I've written down that I know will become reality. You can do the same. So write down in pure detail your dream day, your dream life, where you're going, the map, then let go of it and just focus on the actions. Reverse engineer it, focus on the actions. Have delusional self-belief that it will happen. If you believe it for long enough, take action long enough, there's nothing else to do. Now let me close this out on a fairly serious note about being savage. We have the 90-day savage protocol down underneath this video. If you'd like to join us, join our community, 90 days of the hardest workouts, nutrition plans, testosterone boosting that you could possibly follow, 90 days alcohol free, community included, go check it out down below. But to close this video, I want to tell you about being savage. Most people will watch this. If you got to this point, you may have agreed with every single fucking word I said. But if you then do nothing, then you are not savage. If you then do nothing, you will remain stuck in your life. I need you to go and take action on some of the things that I've said. I need you to go and start the work. Don't just watch videos like this and do nothing. Stop negotiating with weakness in your life. That feeling that you get where you don't want to do it, where you're bored, you don't want to do it feels hard, it feels tough. Sometimes it even feels like it's going to make you fucking cry. You feel so sensitive about it. You're like, oh my God, the work's so fucking hard. I just want to be lazy. You have to get past that feeling. You have to understand that it is in beating that feeling daily that makes you great. That every single day, every time I film a video pretty much and I have to do work, it still comes for me, that feeling. But I have this set non-negotiables in my life that cannot be missed, and they are the guidance, they are the backing of who I become. The only thing I have to do is follow my own rules, my own non-negotiables, and I will always be okay. And the non-negotiables are brilliant because it doesn't matter how you fucking feel, they're non-negotiable. So go forth and be savage. Don't listen to weakness. Do it when you're tired. Do it when you're sick. Do it when others don't believe in you. Do it when they laugh in your face. Do it when it's impossible. Do it against all odds. Do it for yourself. Have belief in yourself. Be a savage. And I will see you on the next one. Hopefully your mind is unfucked now. Adios, amigo. Whoop-ow!